Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use trig to find a length in a word problem with one right triangle. So in this example they're saying they have a 9-foot ladder, and that's indicated by this side of the triangle. That's the ladder leaning against the side of a house. It says how far is the bottom of the ladder from the side of the house if the angle of elevation of the ladder is 74 degrees. Round your answer to nearest tenth. So a couple things to keep in mind, guys. When you have a horizontal line, okay, and another angle going up from that horizontal line, this angle that's made right here, that's called an angle of elevation. And if you have the horizontal, but you're making in another line of sight going downwards, this angle here, that's called an angle of depression. So keep in mind, angle of elevation is looking upwards from horizontal, angle of elevation is looking downwards from horizontal. In this problem, the angle of elevation is this one here, and it's kind of nice. They give you the triangle, so that makes it a whole lot easier. And you can see there's a right triangle made right here, and they even draw the little right angle. And so if this is my right triangle, of course, the hypotenuse would be here, opposite the reference angle that I'm looking at, that 74 would be right here. This would be my adjacent, and by the way, the adjacent side is what I want to find out, how far away the ladder is from the base of the house. So if you're using the SOHCAHTOA to remember which one to use, I want to use the trig function, and that involves the adjacent side, since that's what I want to find, and also the hypotenuse, since that's what I know. So the one that uses A and H is ka, or cosine. So I would set up the equation to be the cosine of 74 degrees equals the adjacent side, which is what I don't know, I'm going to call that x, over the hypotenuse 9. Now basically I have to try to solve this by getting x by itself. So to get x by itself, since it's being divided by 9, I multiply by 9, and I get 9 times the cosine of 74 would be equal to just x. So to finish this off, it's as simple as typing this into the calculator, and I'm going to make sure my mode is in degrees. It is. I'm going to do 9 and then type cos 74, and it says round to the nearest tenth, so it'd be 2.5, and I think what is the units? I think it's in feet, so it'd be 2.5 or 2.5. Sorry about that. 2.5 feet is that distance. Let's look at one more, only because the way you solve this one's a little bit more exciting. You have a kite flying 85 feet off the ground, okay, and the string is pulled taut. This is the string. It says and the angle of elevation is 46, and they do you a nice little picture here. Find the length of the string and round to the nearest tenth. So we have to find the length of the string. That's the hypotenuse, by the way. And here, this is the adjacent side. This is the opposite, rather. This is the adjacent for that reference angle. So if I'm looking at SOHCAHTOA, I want to use O and H, which would be sine. So I would set this one up to be the sine of 46 is the opposite, which is 85, over the hypotenuse, which I'm putting in H. Let's just call it H for the hypotenuse in this one. You can call it X or whatever you'd like. Now, you have to solve this rational equation. Now, there's a long way of doing this and a short way. I'm going to show you the long way real quick. Really, if I make a fraction equal to a fraction, right, like I can write sine of 46 over 1 equals 85 over H. You can cross multiply and write H equals the sine, or excuse me, sorry, if I cross multiply, it's H times the sine of 46 equals 1 times 85, which is just 85. And then I'd have to divide everything by the sine of 46 to get the H alone. So the height, or excuse me, the length of the string H is 85 over the sine of 46. Fast way of doing this, if you have a trig equation where your variable is the bottom, I call it the old switcheroo trick, okay? You can just flip-flop where the h is in the sine of 46 and get the same exact thing, but a whole lot faster. So it's just in your calculator, I'd put 85 in the top and then sine of 46 in the bottom. And to the nearest tenth, that's 118.2 feet. I think the units were for this one. So 118.2 feet. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.